Howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So tonight we're going to talk about the arguments against letting the asylum seekers in. Okay, we're going to go through them because yesterday in the comment section it was wild. And even though I tried to correct some things, people just didn't get it. So we're going to go through it slowly in crayons. Okay, we want them to do it legally. Pull out your Constitution. If you don't have one, Google it. Go to Article 6. I think Section 2. I could be wrong. It's right in the beginning, though. First couple paragraphs. What you're going to find out is that the U.S. Constitution, federal law, and international treaties are, quote, the supreme law of the land. The only thing an international treaty does not supersede is the Constitution itself. Okay, so international treaties that we sign are U.S. law. They become U.S. law. Okay, so now I want you to Google the 1967 Protocols on Refugees, which we are a signatory of. Go to Article 31. There it is. People who enter a country illegally to claim asylum cannot be punished. There is no such thing as entering a country illegally if you're claiming asylum, if you're a refugee. That is U.S. law. If you let that sink in and you really think about it, you realize those trying to claim asylum are following the law, and those trying to stop them are violating it. Interestingly enough, in that same treaty, you will find out that we can't refile them. That's send them back. Okay, moving on. One of the other cute things was, where's yours? Where's yours? Where's the immigrant family you're sponsoring? Okay, well, first, I actually have done that. But I don't think you need to have an opinion on this, to be honest. You know who we should ask? Let's ask the homeless vet living at your house. Oh, you don't have one? Strange. Kept bringing them up. We need to save that money for those homeless vets. Seems like the only time you guys ever bring up helping vets is when you don't want to help somebody else. Fine, you don't have a homeless vet. Let's talk to the kid you adopted that was going to be aborted. No? Don't have one of them either, huh? Interesting. Seems a little hypocritical. Just outside looking in. But it's what it is. It's the U.S. We're always about money. Always talking about money because it's our national character. And that's the other thing. Who's going to pay for this? Office of Refugee Resettlement. They got a budget $500 million a year. $500 million. Budget's actually a little bit more than that, but that's what they spend doing this. Interestingly enough, Trump got them more money. I thought that was funny. I found that out tonight. Their new budget's a little bit bigger. So, I will give you this. That is a lot of money to spend. But here's the thing. What did his little stunt down on the border cost? $2 billion. 4 times as much. It's cheaper to be a good person. All right. Next thing. Oh, well, they're coming here for benefits because we're Americans. Everything's about money. Really? Mexico offered them benefits. They turned them down. So stop projecting your greed onto them. Maybe they just want safety. All right. Moving on. This isn't our problem. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. 2009, we backed the coup in Honduras that overthrew the government. And that's where most of these people are coming from. Now, Nicaragua, you can trace pretty much Nicaragua, Guatemala. You know what? We'll do it the other way. Costa Rica and Belize are the only 2 countries in that region that I can think of that we haven't recently messed up. So we'll compromise. Costa Rican refugees and refugees from Belize, they're not our problem. All the other ones are. Then my favorite, well, if it was me, I wouldn't put my kid in harm's way. I'd stay and fix my country. You put their kid in harm's way because you wouldn't fix your country. You didn't reel in your government when they were down there messing with their countries, did you? You put their kid in harm's way. Accept some responsibility for your apathy. and stay and fix it. You know, I ran into you clowns in 2015 talking about Syria. And I tried to figure out a way to put it into scale. So I did. I took the numbers from Syria and I scaled them up so you could see what it would be like if it happened in the U.S. 100 million homeless, 100 million people displaced, had to flee violence, whatever. 3 million dead. That's crazy. When we think about a tragedy in the U.S., we think about 9/11 or Katrina. Katrina, 1,800 people died. 3 million. And see, we're Americans, we have no idea how to put that in scale. We don't know what that means. So we'll do it this way. That's more people than U.S. soldiers died in the war. What war? All of them. To include both sides of the Civil War, every war in U.S. history, all added up, times 2. It's more than that. But yes, Dwayne from Best Buy, you'd be a survivor. You'd stay and you'd be able to navigate the militias and the government forces and the ever-shifting alliances. You'd be able to find food, water, shelter for your family. You'd do all of that, survive combat against battle-hardened men who've been fighting for 10 years in Iraq. You'd survive and fix your country because you're a super soldier, Dwayne from Best Buy. As some of you may have picked up, I'm a pretty resourceful guy and I am better trained than most. I feel no shame when I say that if what happened in Syria happened in the U.S., the crew of the International Space Station will be able to track my progress by watching the plumes of smoke as I burned rubber all the way to Canada. Untrained people, you do one thing really well in combat: die. That's it. And while we're on that subject, one other thing, with all you internet tough guys out there talking about what you would do. One gentleman said that he would have opened fire, and the context was live ammunition. You would have opened fire on unarmed men, women, and kids. Oh, you tough. You are tough, man. I know killers, real killers. I don't know any that open fire on an unarmed crowd. You know, if through some twist of fate, I end up down there guarding the border or something because I'm forced to, I hope you're with me. Because it's hot in the desert and your canteen still be cool because you got ice in your veins. You're a tough guy. Do you know who is impressed with statements like that? People who have never fired a shot at someone. People who have never watched someone bleed out. Does not make you look tough, makes you look like an idiot. Anyway, just a thought, just a few, actually. Y'all have a good night, and please forgive me for trolling the comment section yesterday. I do this for free. I want to have a little bit of fun. Sorry. All right, y'all have a good night.